Hello, Shilpa ma'am. Good evening. Hi, Vikram. I don't know who you are, but thank you for joining my live. Hi, Divya. Okay, I've been isolated since yesterday, so uh, I just thought I'll probably reach out to people since I'm not interacting much with people since yesterday. Certain things happened, and I'm just not so comfortable um about speaking it publicly. But yeah, I would like to speak about the things that have been happening recently in my life. Let me start from the beginning. Mr. Vikram, please, if uh, if if it if it's not a problem for you, please don't try to hit on me. I really am not interested in you, or as a matter of fact, I'm not interested in anyone at the moment. So please बख्श दो मुझे और प्लीज आप या तो यहाँ से जाओ या फिर प्लीज चुपचाप बैठ के सुन लो मेरे को. I'm sorry, I just lost my cool. It's just that I'm not here to seek sympathy or um, I'm not here to seek sympathy from anyone. It's just that I felt like sharing about myself with people, and life has been tough. I know everyone has their own battles, and we all have to fight our battles on our own. We don't have support, or no one else can fight our battles. It is just that we ourselves have to fight our battles. And I've realized this at every stage of my life, and probably I was forgetting this thing, and certain things led me to think about it again. Um, I was born in a very good family. I was given very good education. I was My father was a government servant, and my mother was a teacher. She became a principal at a later stage, and uh, I've studied in various parts of India, and I've had the exposure to different cultures, different ways of life, different types of people. So I consider myself very lucky, having known a lot of cultures, a lot of types of people, and uh, uh, when you get to interact with people from different cultures, you get that thing in your mindset to get adjusted to different kinds of people, different kinds of cultures. So I have this acceptance to all religions, to all cultures engraved in me since childhood, and it has really helped me live the 33 years of my life till now, and I'm really happy about it that I was born in a um, defense environment, and it has really strengthened me. Um yeah, as I told that I have been, um given the opportunity of studying in various schools, various cultures, and also it has really helped me out. So I did decently okay in my studies till school. I was into a lot of extracurricular activities. I somehow successfully managed to um, suppress my feminine feelings, my femininity inside, and I thought that I was a cross dresser till my school, and it wasn't affecting me that much because my most of my energies were diverted to either sports or extracurricular activities, which helped me, keep my head sane. Then, once I reached college, that was in 2006, and I started getting exposed to various forms of social media like Facebook, Orkut, and because of which I got to know the terms like cross-dresser, transgender, a trans woman, lesbian, gay, LGBT communities, and all. So that was a turning point in my life. When I reached college, I met a few uh, admirers also who I was very lucky to have met a very decent guy who uh, really helped me explore myself. He was not into me physically, um, but as a friend, as a advisor or something, he was always there for me till he got married in 2009. He was a doctor, and he just met me out of curiosity on social media, and we happened to be good friends. I was in Bangalore at that time. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. And we were in Bangalore at that time, and I still have good memories with him. I don't want to tell uh, I don't want to tell his name because he's happily married. He must be happily married. I suppose he got married in 2009. That's when we last spoke on the phone. That's when we last met. Uh, After that, I finished my engineering successfully. I got placed. There's a thing called campus placement, which happens in the college itself. You, the companies come in the college and select the students. So I was lucky enough to be placed in four companies, and I selected one company and started working in 2011, and uh, work was good. I gained a lot of experience. Um it was like a dream job for me. I had a seven-figure salary, and the package was good. I was slowly getting settled down. But that's when I started exploring myself uh, on another level. I started buying more and more clothes. I had the freedom of keeping clothes with me, had the freedom of keeping wigs with me, and the freedom of keeping makeup with me. In Delhi, I started going out. I started dressing up and going out because there was no one to stop me. I was earning, I had my money, I could do whatever I wanted to. Started going out, started meeting like-minded people who were in a position like me. Started reading about people who 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 had faced such things, who had come out of it. Took me around 4 to 5 years to realize that I was born in a wrong body. Took me 4 to 5 years to realize that I am not a cross dresser. I am a trans woman or probably a woman. But I knew that I had to go through this change in my life to lead a happy life. And the thing is that the realization came one night when I was looking into the mirror, and I was all dolled up. I was in a sari. I had gone to Gurgaon just to roam around 10:30 in the night. not for sex, just just to get the feeling that yeah, I am, you know, walking on the streets the way I want to. Um, Coming back from Gurgaon, when I was in my room, I was looking into the mirror. I I saw a happy person, and the next morning when I woke up, I had to change. I had to remove the makeup. I had to change into regular boy clothes for my office, and that's the time when I looked at a sad person in the mirror, and there was nothing that I was not happy with my life, or I was not happy with my job, I was not happy with anything. It was not like that. I was not happy with myself. I couldn't see myself in the mirror. I wanted to see myself in the mirror. It was as if, you know, something was missing, and I wanted that thing to come back in my life. I realized that I could live a better life. I could solve things much more easier. I could face challenges in a much better manner being Nana. At that time, I didn't have this name Nana. Um, Over a period of time, I have kept on changing my name on social media uh, to uh, to be away from people who didn't know this side of me. But for the past 4 years, I am Nana only, and I'll remain Nana. So yeah, that's when I took the decision of going all the way and going for the gender change, living a life uh, on my terms. Work was supportive, but I somehow felt that I needed to get out of that job. I got out of that job. I had to purposely leave home because I was disowned. And thank you, thank you. I'm not able to reply to comments. Hi to everyone, Dhanashri, Yuga, whomsoever has joined. I'm really thankful to all of you. So because you guys have joined, and thank you so much, Divya. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Nupur. So I'll tell you an incident. I went to Ahmedabad. What happened was, again, I met a stranger on social media, and this guy was after me, and he somehow managed to convince me that we were meant to be together. I agreed, and I also fell for him. We spoke for about good amount of 6 months or something. The day I decided to go all the way and change my life to this extent, I took a train to Ahmedabad. Just imagine, I took a train to Ahmedabad from Delhi, and I was in a salwar suit. I had chopped hair. I looked like a guy in a women's clothes. I traveled all the way from Delhi to Ahmedabad. I had one suitcase of luggage with me, and when I reached Ahmedabad, this guy was not to be seen there. His phone was switched off. His friend's phone was switched off. Another friend that he had, I tried to call him up, and he refused to pick up my call, and he said that he doesn't know where this shithead is. I'm sorry for the language. Uh, then I went on to the social media, that is Facebook, tried to message him there. He blocked me there. So I had no other option, and I just didn't know what to do. Immediately, there was a trans woman, like like a proper hijra, what people call. She approached. She saw me. She saw that okay, this is someone like us only. She is probably in trouble. She offered me to come with her. She heard my story. She said, come with me. I said, I don't want to come with you. I cannot adjust to the life that you people have. She said, you don't have to do anything. You just stay with me till the time you want to. Till the time you're comfortable, stay with us. After that, wherever you want to go, just go. People are going to take advantage of you if you stay here like this. I agreed. I was naive. I agreed. I went, but I realized that she was God sent. And I didn't do anything at that house. There were about 11. There were 11 people in the house. And half of them were involved in sex work, half of them were involved in going to houses for collecting of arms and money. I was never pushed into anything. I used to do the housework. I used to clean up the house. I used to keep the house spick and span. I used to teach them English. I used to teach them computer since I had a laptop. So I was doing these kind of stuff at that place. And after about 7 to 8 months, I landed up a job in Delhi. I moved to Delhi, and it was a selfless love and help that they extended towards me, and because of which I gained a lot of strength at that point of time. uh, I reached Delhi and started living a life of dignity. I had still not started my transition, but I had started living as a woman. I had started wearing clothes publicly. I had started growing my hair. I had started to change my mannerisms because my mannerisms and the femininity had been suppressed terribly over the period of years, and I was beginning to lose my feminine self slowly, but uh, I somehow managed to get it back. I think I'm still in the process of getting it back, and I think slowly it might come back to me. Yeah, so after that, I even had to shift out of Delhi because the cost of living was more. The society was not accepting yet a trans woman living freely in the society. So I had to leave Delhi also. I didn't get a because the societies that were accepting in Delhi were pretty much out of my reach, my financial reach. Though I had good amount of financial savings, but I wanted to save the savings for a much more rainier day, and which would actually come in handy when the time was really tough for me. So yeah, 2019 I 2016 I started writing full time. I was into content writing. 2019 I started ghost writing. Ghost writing is a thing wherein you write for someone, you get the money, but your name doesn't show in the credits for the write up. And 2020 I got my fitness training degree, uh, because of which I started my journey as a fitness training instructor also. So yeah, at the moment I'm a fitness trainer and a writer, mostly a writer because due to COVID times, my fitness training is on the back foot. So yeah, that's about me, and uh, I have been okay. Just let me see who all are there. Really thank I really thank all of you for being there, listening to all the shit that I told. Um, I just want to tell you that if at all you find someone in your life, uh, someone in your journey who's not comfortable in the bodies, or who's not comfortable in their body, then just help them out. There's nothing wrong in uh, you know a there's nothing wrong in someone who was assigned the gender of a boy at birth to be a girl at a later stage, or someone who was assigned the gender of a girl at birth to live the life of a boy at a later stage. There's nothing wrong in it. uh, if you happen to meet such a person in your life, advise that person to first study well, to first become financially independent, because money is the only thing that will, sail you through. I have been living happily and successfully just because I had a good financial savings, which actually helped me. It still helps me whenever I don't have enough work. But for the past 3 4 months, I'm really enjoying a lot of work uh, in my hand on my hands, and it has really helped me be financially independent. I didn't have to depend on anyone for money. And I would like others like me, people who are in their teens, or people who are in their early teens, who belong to my community. I would like them to study hard, concentrate on their extracurricular activities, concentrate on skill development, which will probably help them somewhere. uh, I developed certain skills like writing, reading, which is actually helping me now. And Sheetal wants to be in my video. So, yeah, that's what. So I've kept on trying.
Hi.
Hi, Sheetal.
Hi, Sheetal. Hi. Hi, Pusu. Hi, Chapu. Say hi. Hi, Naina.
We both are wearing
We both are
glasses.
wearing glasses. Yeah, same. Hi, Chapu.
I think there's a lot of
I think there's a lot of.
I'll just hang up because
I'll
there's
just
a lot
hang
of.
up because Okay,
I'm
okay,
not
fine.
able to speak.
I'm not able to speak.
Can you just
Can you just Yeah,
close
I'm
it
just
and
close it and
I'm sorry, there was a lot of echo. I was not able to talk. It was really tough for me to concentrate and talk. Um, so yeah, so basically, skill development is very important in your life, apart from the education that you get. Because at a point of time in life, you may start feeling that this is not the job which I wanted to do, or this is not the job that makes me happy. So always try to do something which doesn't make you feel the pinch. Want to fat loss? No, please. I'm as it is fit. Thank you, Salman, fit coach. Yeah. No, so I don't know. I have this thing in me that if someone pokes me, I like to give the poke back. This is there in me since childhood. I don't know why I love to get into arguments. I don't know. There have been insecurities probably in me, or probably, I don't know. I may have been insecure since childhood. Um, I'm at times very miserable, or very cruel to men. I'm really cruel to men. Yeah, I'm very cruel to men. I don't know why. Maybe circumstances have led me to that position. So it's okay. I think all men are not like that, but most of them are. So, yeah, my future plans, I would say, yeah, something about what has been happening recently for the past 2 3 weeks, I have been into a beauty contest, a pageant, which is called Glamour by Sarah. Sorry, which is called Miss and Mrs. Sari Queen 2021, which is organized by Glamour by Sarah. It is a Malaysian-based uh, company which is run by Sarah ma'am, and mm, she organizes these pageants and trains people like me, anyone, like not just trans women. I'm probably the first trans woman in the pageant, training of various women for uh, for gaining confidence, for facing life in a much better way, much better manner. So so I got to know about this beauty contest through um, got to know about this beauty contest through a page on Instagram called Suta. Suta is a page. Suta is a company. Is a company which sells saris. I had bought a Suta sari month and a half or 2 months back, which is very close to my heart. So I saw this advertisement or a post regarding this competition over there. So I just messaged Sarah ma'am asking if it is open for trans women. She was happily accepting trans women too, and she was like, "For you, for us, you are also a woman, and we would be happy to have you." So my auditions were held about a week, 10 days after I had informed her, and my audition was held on 14th of August, I guess. I guess 14th of August, and I got a message from ma'am on 16th or 17th of August saying that I was shortlisted as one of the finalists. And my audition was taken by Divyangna ma'am, and it had gone pretty nice. They were very happy with me, and I really enjoyed the audition. Uh, After the auditions, since I had joined late, there were about 3 to 4 tasks that were given to me. It is basically a virtual contest that is happening because of the COVID ongoing pandemic. So everything is happening online. We keep getting tasks that for which we have to post on our Instagram handle, and we get judged by the jury about how much points do we deserve, and according to the effort that is put in by us. And uh, along with the tasks, we also had a lot of orientation sessions which dealt with how to conduct ourselves, how to have a positive attitude, motivated by motivational coaches, by people, by Shilpa ma'am, by Anuradha ma'am, who have actually helped us learning the ways of living life in a better way, and reaching our goals and aims towards the peak of our life. We also were taught how to do ramp walk by Sharvita ma'am. So there were a lot of classes which were involved in the orientation that has actually helped us and changed us as a person, and definitely it will help us grow in a much better manner, because these are the small things that we don't actually care about. Uh, all these things are ingrained in us as children, but over a period of time, when we get into the rat race, uh, the basic fundamentals of life are actually withdrawn from us, or we actually forget about all these things over a period of time. So the life coaches, the motivational coaches, they help us get these things back into us. It is basically science, nothing else. So that's what. So these things will help us in the future. I don't know what my future is going to be, but I have a lot of dreams. I'm a big time dreamer. I've been a dreamer since childhood. I've always seen big dreams. Anuradha ma'am was saying that she wanted to buy uh, buy a compact car, and after that a sedan and a SUV. So I also had this dream of buying but I was a biker. I was a biker. Yeah, I was a big time biker. So I had a Harley a few years back, which I gave to my sister. Her husband, my brother-in-law, rides it now, and I just gave it because I wanted to buy a car. So I presently have a decent car, uh, which helps me carry my whole luggage and go lock, stock, barrel. And so yeah, uh, I'm not a good saver, I would say. I spend a lot on technology, on gadgets, on clothes, on whatever I like. I don't know. These small things kind of give me happiness. It's uh, uh, um, like more than 2 decades of my life, I've been deprived of wearing a certain type of clothes that that used to define me. So I think I'm probably trying to catch up with those lost decades of my life, wherein I still love wearing frilly frocks, which I don't get because probably as a kid I never got to wear those beautiful frilly frocks. I would still love to wear those kind of frocks, and yeah. I have a lot of saris. If you give me an option to go to CCD, have a coffee, I would love to go in a sari. um, I stayed in Lalit, Delhi for about 5 days last year. No, this year. This year in January, I just went for a break. And since I had saved good amount of money for the year, I thought I'll go to Lalit and spend some time there since I wanted to meet a few friends in Delhi. I met my school time English teacher in Delhi this time. So Lalit was good, and most of the days I was all decked up in a sari just to go and have a coffee. So yeah, so I don't care about what people think about me, how people judge me, about my looks, about what I wear, about how I talk, about how meanly, about how mean I am at times. Um, I'm like this only, and probably I'm mean when I am on my back foot, or maybe I feel endangered. So that's when I'm mean. Otherwise, I'm a very sober person. Um, I love making new friends. But yeah, I have trust issues. So if any of you don't have a proper profile, don't have photos in them, don't want to share photos, don't want to tell me your identity, I cannot talk to you because I have trust issues. So those people who are sending me messages and their messages are in my message requests, I am not going to reply to you till the time I don't see some proof that okay, this is a genuine person, this is not a fake person. And men, please stay away. I'm not going to talk to you. I don't have any interest in any kind of relationship. So please, if you want to call baby or Janu, Janiman, etc., whatever rubbish you want to call me, I'm not going to read those messages. The moment I see such messages, I'll just block you or ignore you. Yeah, so um, the boss bitch started talking again. I can't help it. I'm feeling a lot relieved after um, having this live session. So there are six wonderful people watching me. Okay. Um, I know only about 3 to 4 people out of the six people. I really want to thank you for watching all this. I'm at a loss of words actually. But yeah, I've spoken quite a lot because since yesterday I've had no one to talk to except Divya. Divya spoke to me. Divya is one of my very close friends that I made uh, in this pageant, and I'm pretty sure that our friendship is forever. We will keep in touch. We will be in touch with each other forever. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. And Divya is like a sister that I never had. She's like, yeah, she's around 6 years younger to me, but it's like we are almost of the same age and we share a lot of um, common personality traits. And it's good to, talk to her at times when I need to correct her about something. I feel that, okay, this is wrong. I tell her and she acknowledges it in a much positive manner. So I really feel like she's a sister to me, probably a younger sister, I don't know, but definitely a friend for sure. And I'm really thankful to the contest, the pageant, that I could make such lovely friends. Dhanashri, thank you so much. Such lovely friends whom I will always keep close to my heart. Yeah, about dreams. I think my dreams, I'm a dreamer. Uh, a dream which probably I may never be able to reach is to become a pilot. Um, because there's a lot of funding involved and I don't have that much of savings. I have savings, I have good amount of savings, but I don't have that much of savings that could help me become a pilot. And mm, the ultimate aim of becoming a pilot is always to get a good job that will actually get you good money, and a pilot earns quite well. So I'm already 33, and 35 is the limit when um, the new pilot is taken in to airline. After 35, usually airlines avoid taking pilots, new pilots, fresh pilots. So that aim is almost dead, but still I'll keep it. Who knows, at the age of 45 or 50, I might be flying an aircraft. So I'll keep my dreams and options open. Let's see what happens. Apart from that, I want to buy a good house in Goa, an independent house in Goa, not a flat. I don't want to live in a flat. Flats actually make me claustrophobic. I'm that kind of person who wants a decent house, maybe three room house, having decent space in at least two of the rooms, having a good amount of sitting area, living area, uh, at least two good bathrooms, having good amount of space, um, and having a good amount of area outside the house, like a garden or a lawn or something, where I can, have some art creations which are there in my head. So that I would like to have that kind of house somewhere in Goa, and that might happen probably a decade later. Um and considering my transformation, I'm already on HRT, and my surgery uh, will be in a few years. I may or may not go for it. I'm still not sure. Uh, but yeah, I've got my implants done. That was this year beginning, and I'm pretty happy to be pretty happy to have half the woman's body. And now, at least when I look into the mirror, I feel happy. I feel like myself. I think most of you people are bored and you must have left. Yeah, so those people who don't know me have left. Okay, I'll just play a song. This request has come from Divya. She wanted me to play the song, play some song. So I'll play the song which is very close to my heart. I think I need to tune this. Sorry for the inconvenience. I'll just check the tuning of the guitar. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Okay. There's pillow over here. Mama, take this patch of me. I can't use it anymore. Getting dark to see. Feels like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, 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 knocking on heaven's door. Mama put my guns to ground. I can't shoot them anymore. That dark black cloud's coming down. Feels like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, 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 knocking on heaven's door. Ah, yeah. Ah, Thank you, thank you, Anu ma'am, thank you. Thank you, Sarah ma'am. Thank you, Shilpa ma'am. Thank you, Divya. This was for you, Divya. Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to play the song. The last time I tried playing it, I was good at the song which I'm going to try now. I was good at this song, but I think I lost practice, and because of that, I was not able to play this song. Okay, I'll play a song by John Denver if any one of you has heard that song. John Denver, I'm pretty good at it, so all my bags are packed, I'm ready to go. I'm standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up to say goodbye, but the dawn is waiting, it's early morn. The taxi's waiting, it's blown its horn. Already I'm so lonesome I could die. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh babe, I hate to go. So many times I've played around, so many times I've messed around. Oh baby, I swear they don't mean a thing. Every song I sing, I'll sing for you. Every place I go, I'll think of you. When I come back, I'll get your wedding ring. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. I'm leaving on a jet plane, leaving on a jet plane, leaving on a jet plane, on a jet plane, on a jet plane, on a jet plane, on a jet plane. Okay. If someone is getting bored, they can leave. There's no compulsion that you have to keep on sitting. The world is really busy. People need to work. People need to earn. So that freedom is there. Those who want to leave can leave. I'm not going to see who's online or who's watching me. So you can leave the view if you want to. This is the song that I'm talking about. I probably may not be able to play it, but I'll try. कोठे उत्ते बैठे अखियां मिलाਉਂਦੇ ना जाना मैं तू कभी छोड़ तेरे उत्ते मरदी प्यार तेनू करदी मैंने गल कोई और तू भी आ सबको छोड़ के तू भी आ सबको छोड़ के मेरी अखियां जो हंजूर उड़ गई अखियां जो हंजूर उड़ गई पानी दा रंग वेख के पानी दा रंग वेख के पानी दा रंग वेख के अखियां जो हंजूर उड़ गई अखियां जो हंजूर उड़ गई Okay, I played it. Okay. Okay. There's a song by Strings. Hi, Pratyusha. Didn't expect you to join now. Okay. देखा तुझे तो हुआ मैं दीवाना देख के ऐसा लगा सा कि पुराना हुए बेगानी क्यों हुए अनजाने क्यों ये रास्ता तेरा ये रास्ता मेरा है दोनों की मंजिल जुदा हम सफर हम तो अजनबी हम दोनों का एक ही खुदा बेगाने क्यों अनजाने क्यों. Missed a paragraph. I don't remember the lyrics. Okay. For people who like old songs, I don't know who all have watched which was this movie, Satya Pe Satta. This is for them. तुमने वो क्या देखा जो कहा दीवाना हमको समझ नहीं समझ जरा समझाना प्यार में किस मोड़ पे ले आया के दिल करे हाय कोई ये बताए क्या होगा बत्तियां बुझा दो कि नींद नहीं आती है बत्तियां बुझाने से भी नींद नहीं आएगी बत्तियां बुझाने वाली जाने कब आएगी शोर न मचाओ वरना भाभी जाग जाएगी प्यार में किस मोड़ पे ले आया कि दिल करे हाय कोई ये बताए क्या होगा प्यार में ओके गुलाबी आँखें जो तेरी देखी शराबी ये दिल शराबी ओके आई मिस द कॉर्ड गुलाबी आँखें जो तेरी देखी शराबी ये दिल हो गया संभालो मुझको ओ मेरे यारो संभालना मुश्किल हो गया वो कैसी सुबह थी खुशियों का था सफर सदियों और संग कोई थी ना फिकर दुख आया सुख खोया गम बन गया हम सफर Okay, Divya, you're still watching me. Shreya, you're watching me. Thank you. So I think I can go. If you have any questions for me, someone has asked something. Show your hairstyle. This is my hairstyle. What should I show in this? Thank you so much, Divya. Thank you for being there for me. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shreya. Thank you, Shilpa ma'am. Thank you, everyone who took out time and came and heard me. Uh, I really needed this, I think, and I think I'm feeling a lot better. Thanks, Divya. Take care. Bye bye. Keep in touch through WhatsApp. Bye.